So when you did spades, remember we uploaded the data here. You can choose the local files, drop them in there, and hit start, and they'll upload. So if you didn't do that, that's what you have to do. So you would choose local files. I'm not actually going to upload them because I've already done it multiple times. But again, bioinformatics, assembly, here are my sequences. These are the two files. So I would open them and then I would hit start. I'm not going to do that, but that's what you would do. Then they'll turn green. And remember to do spades, we go ahead and go to spades. We select just regular spades. We did paired end reads. And then, you would pick read 1, read 2. You would leave all the defaults, and then you would hit run. And so hopefully, if you did that in class today, it should already be done. So yeah, it should already be done. And so then what you want to do is just download your results. So it'll say reads 1 and reads 2, and then it'll have an assembly graph. So you can download that using the save. So it'll download that to your downloads folder. Assembly graph with scaffolds. Let's go ahead and download that too. And then contigs. So this one gives you contigs. And this one gives you scaffolds. So then what I'm going to do is go ahead and move all of those into the folder where I'm doing my bioinformatics work. I want to keep all my bioinformatics work together. So this is my folder. Here's assembly. And now here, I'm going to create a new folder in here. New folder. And I'm going to call it spades output because, well, it's the output of spades. So if I go to my downloads, these are the 4 files that were downloaded. So I'm just going to copy them and put them in my bioinformatics folder. Okay. The names are awful. So we'll just call this one is the assembly graph. So we'll just rename it assembly graph. This one was this graph with scaffolds. So we'll just call it assembly graph with scaffolds. Here are the contigs. And here are the scaffolds. So that's how you can download your spades output. And then once we have the spades output downloaded, we can take a look at how to do the quality control. So we'll go back to Galaxy, and the quality control software we'll use is called Quast. It's written by the same guy, the St. Petersburg assembler, the Russian guy. And he does not like to make things compliant with Windows. So those of you who are on a Mac, you actually can download a command line based option for this. Since most of you, or at least half of you, are on a PC, we're just going to do it through Galaxy instead. So we'll do the individual assembly. And actually, because you already have it in Galaxy, it should allow you to select your scaffolds file. Type of assembly is a genome assembly. Use a reference genome. We're going to go ahead and hit yes, but we don't have a reference genome in here yet. We need to find it. So how do we find a genome? We go to NCBI, and this bacterium is Salmonella enterica serovar typhimurium. And I know that because I did the analysis. I know it. Okay. So we're going to look for a genome of Salmonella enterica serovar typhimurium. The way that you could do this to like check if you didn't trust me, or let's say you didn't know, you just got your assembly and you don't know, is you can take just like a big chunk of it. You can't do the whole thing because BLAST won't let you do that, but take a big chunk, right, of your scaffolds file, go to BLAST, nucleotide BLAST, and put it in there and see what we get. So I'm going to make sure I have all the default settings. Okay, highly similar because I want to know exactly what it is, and we'll go to BLAST. So we'll come back to that in just a minute and make sure that it is the right thing. So I know that that's what it is, right? So we're going to go ahead and hit search. Okay. And we can download this reference genome. So let's go ahead and we'll click on this, right? It takes us to a page where we can download some stuff. And we're actually going to try to download 2 files from here. So download, we're going to download the genome sequence, the FASTA. And then one of the other options in Galaxy is a reference genome that has the genomic features already in it. So we're going to download the reference GFF file. So on this page, we're going to download the FASTA and the GFF. Okay. Let's call it reference Salmonella. Go ahead and download it. Okay, it didn't take very long. So let's put it in my workspace over here in my spades output because it's going to help me with spades. Okay, so I can delete the original zip file. I have the NCBI data set, data. Okay, it's a lot. Okay, and so it gives me I don't know why it downloaded 2 copies of them, but that's okay. So this is what we're going to call it is reference genome, and this is going to be reference annotation, and it deleted the ending for some reason, .gff. That's fine. Okay, so I have these 2 files now. So what I'll do is go back to Galaxy. I'm going to upload a GFF. I'm going to choose 2 local files to upload. So within my assembly, in spades output, reference Salmonella. Just have to find them. Okay, I want to upload these 2 files. Oh, okay, well, one at a time then. Okay, it'll give me just a second. It should close this window since we're done. Once it turns green, we know everything is good. We can also upload then the FNA file as the reference genome. So we're uploading the reference annotation and the reference genome. And we're just going to wait until they turn green. So I'm going to pause while they are doing their thing. Okay, that didn't take very long. They turned green. So for the reference genome, I'm going to select reference genome. For the reference features or genomic features in the reference genome, and you can also look for the operons in the reference annotation. You can use the same file for both. We don't have a large genome, so we don't have to do this. It's a prokaryote, so that's what we want to do. Are assemblies scaffolds rather than contigs? Yes, we have scaffolds. Is the genome large? No. Remember our size output. We can double check how big is our genome. Well, the Abyss output, the CSV file, told us that our genome is 4.8 million. So that is way less than 100 million. So the genome is not large. We can kind of see tools for gene prediction. Let's select enable ribosomal gene finding. Yes. Looking for this right here, universal single copy orthologs using BUSCO. This allows us to get an idea of how complete our genome is. So let's go ahead and say yes for that. So let's go ahead, we'll do it the default. We won't change anything under here. Change nothing under here. Let's get a PDF report as well. You can select for your email notification and hit Run Tool. So again, I'm going to pause. I don't know how long this is going to take. It may even be tomorrow by the time I get back to it, but I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and pick up when the results are in. So the QUAST data has finished, so we can display and look at the PDF. And it gives us a report of things like the number of contigs. So it turns the scaffolds into contigs basically, how long the genome is, the number of contigs overall after it kind of fixes everything, the total length of the genome, the length of the reference genome, the GC content, right? So all of these files, or all of these kind of categories that you can look at. And so you can definitely explore those on your own. How complete does the genome appear via BUSCO? 98.65%. That's pretty good. And then it has, some different graphs for you to look at. So the HTML report is going to look very similar, but we can download the PDF. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll call this Spades QUAST, because it's the Spades output for QUAST. Okay. And then the other thing that we can do is go back to Galaxy, go to QUAST, and again we want individual 1 contig file per sample, and this time our contigs file, we're actually going to upload our assembly from Abyss. We're going to compare our Abyss assembly and our Spades assembly. So I know it looks like you're going to want to use this one because it's called scaffolds, but it's actually a shortcut. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right here, salmonella-8.fa. So we're going to upload that one. It shouldn't take but a minute. Okay. And we're going to select that. Oh, it's got a process. So it'll take just a second to process, and then we can select it. And we're going to do QUAST on this one too. Okay, so that's completed. So we'll go ahead and select that one. We're going to use the same reference genome though, because it's the same species. We're going to use the same reference annotation. Yes, right. We want to set kind of the same things here. Let's predict some genes. Sure, yes. I don't think we selected anything under here. We want a PDF report. Sure, send us an email. Let's go ahead and run. All right, so the QUAST finished for the other one as well. We can look at it. If you click on the eyeball, it'll open it up. right? And it gives you kind of like all that same information. And so we can save this and then move it into our drive. There, Abyss output, downloads, and what we'll do is we'll call it Abyss Quast in there. And then so now what you have are the two files that you can at some point compare to one another and make a judgment on which one you thought was the best assembler. So it's the same data you put in, which one gave you the better result.